Okay, so I thought I'd do a video of my 2015 WRX and the head unit that I just put in recently. The head unit is the newsmy 3001. I bought it from China. You can get that from eBay or AliExpress. Basically what it is it's an Android box, which is right here. This is the computer. This is just basically the screen and where you would hook up the radio tuner and wire hookup, things like that for the buttons, and it just kind of relays it in to the screen. What this box can do is it has SD card, USB, Firewire, which actually hooks up to the system, mini HDMI, and this can be used in your home. It doesn't actually have to be worked into the car at all times, so you can use it as a normal workstation, or you can bring it home to add software to it, or media, without actually having to do it from the car, which is really convenient actually. I'll go ahead and show you that in just a moment. I just wanted to also go into a little bit about the car. Again, it's 2015 WRX. One of the first modifications I did, and I didn't really do too much to it yet, is I did a flip key conversion. Another greatest thing about this is I like flip keys because they look cool. They're they just again look better. The key itself is pretty long. The older WRXs actually had a laser cut key. Now they go back to a standard cut key, which I think is kind of a step backwards, but since Toyota has some controlling interest of the company now, they're starting to do that. The BRZ the same way, FRS, pretty much all the new line of cars are coming with standard cut keys if you don't have the push button start. It's probably because they want to spend the money on the push button start and push that, and they're trying to kind of deter people from getting the standard ignition. Now the thing is with this, I've also done a stage 1 Pro Tune through Cobb. I got it tuned from a company, actually a pro shop from here in my hometown, Norwalk in Connecticut, and they do a fantastic job. Let me just go ahead and start it up. Actually, before I do that, go ahead and plug in the Android box. 1 second. Now, where I decided to mount this was in my glove box. It's kind of interesting because I mounted the bracket here against the top. So it just mounts right there, holds on the place. There's just the wire that goes in, aux cable, which honestly I don't really need. Boot up time isn't bad. It takes a couple of seconds. You'll notice that the Android logo will show up and it'll start showing its boot sequence. The greatest thing about this car is it does have a digital boost gauge, so you don't have to go out and spend a couple $100s on a decent boost gauge. Comes with one, which is really nice. I thought I would just kind of add to that feature because Torque, which is a pretty nice app for Android that hooks up to your onboard Dash 2 unit. Go into the real-time information, and what I decided to do, let's see if I can get in here with the light. He's got digital gauges. Throttle, speedometer. I didn't do the quick street dyno, which will kind of give me an idea of what my horsepower is. You just have to do a couple of pulls from 0 to 60 and it'll record that data. It also will record it for other things as well, which is great. But yeah, acceleration, throttle control, coolant, and there's actually a huge list of different gauges that you can put on there. And you can have multiple screens. This is kind of just a generic look here, but just kind of give me an idea. but it is essentially just like a normal tablet. So any applications that you would have on a tablet, you would have on here or a cell phone. As for GPS, I do have it tethered to my phone for Google Apps, Google Maps, which is standard. The only downside is you do need data for that, and I do use T-Mobile, which I don't exactly get service everywhere, as most people who have T-Mobile would know. I do plan on changing that very shortly. But in the case where I don't have service and I don't have access to apps via the network, I do use a program called Sigic. It is a GPS that requires no data. You can download the maps per country and state individually and have them installed on the SD card. That's extremely convenient. The only downfall on that is that after a trial period, they are going to want you to pay for a license. I don't know yet whether I'm going to do that or find another free one. I have looked into Waze. Now, Waze is good. It also uses Trapster, which is great if you want to worry about cop positions and see where they are while you're driving. People can actually upload standard locations where cops are sitting. I've looked into that, although it doesn't look great visually, and you do have to change it to landscape as soon as you get into it because it is set for portrait mode. I guess it's designed for a cell phone, obviously. Other than that, I'm still kind of working on what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to install, probably some emulators so I can play if I'm parked. I can watch music videos and such, and my music library is on there. I've got about 30 gigs worth of music. Just to show you kind of a shuffle here, I'm using a program, Shuttle, which I feel is one of the better music apps. It does, for the most part, locate all of your music art, except for some reason it didn't pull this one, but going to eventually fix that with some network information. It also doesn't load it right away because there's some of these that should already show art. There we go. And some of them don't always show the art, but again, I can rescrape the art with network connection, which is convenient. Because again, having Android is very versatile. You don't have to really worry about the limitations of a normal computer. Android is just fantastic. I have to say, I really like this machine. It's become very handy. I have one problem, is the buttons are really small. There's no backwards, forward media directly in the interface. I'm probably going to be able to find a way to do that software related. So maybe down here I can add an extra couple of buttons, maybe add a ROM to it. It does come pre-rooted, so I just have to put Super User app on there to be able to take advantage of that. Again, just got it. I will be able to work out the bugs. Another thing that I do want to bring up is the controls here. The steering wheel controls was kind of a challenge for me because the harness was not obviously made for this car. It seems like this company is very fond of Volkswagen. I can understand because it seems like they sell a lot to Europe. From what I've seen, a lot of YouTube videos, it seems like that's where they really go. So wiring it was a pain in the ass, and it does work when it wants to. I'm still troubleshooting that, but for the most part I love it. I have to say it's worth the $400. It's pretty easy to install, but that's about it. If you have any questions, just put a comment below, and I'll be able to answer that for you. More videos to come soon. Thanks.